Asi kunonzi ndoda kudzorera kumashure kuti ndikuti hanzi kana masangano vakomana ingoti baiway up fumbled the bag for everybody by bringing a stingy white man into the family.
Welcome to Mum, Can You Not? The Aftershow. What's the Aftershow about, Mum?
The Aftershow is dissecting and discussing what would have happened after the episodes, because you know sometimes when you go out there you just do what you do and you leave it, but then it's reacting to the reactions.
Yeah. Okay, so what are we talking about today? Is this an apology video?
No, apology. No. So recently we did Coco's 29th edition, right? It was a very long episode, about 1 hour 6 minutes. Of those 1 hour 6 minutes, I think 25 seconds of it has made it to the wrong side of the internet. You know what? The other thing is, which I will say to the younger girlies out there, be serial daters. It's not cheating. And if you don't have a ring on your finger, date as many people as you can. And also don't be in the habit of telling people what you're looking for. Because when they don't do it on the first day, they'll do it the second time around. Because that's what manipulation is.
Don't give them the play.
Don't give them the playbook. Wait for them to open their mouths and just... I've awoken every incel from their deep slumber. They are in many comment sections because it's gone viral. So there is many comment sections that this is being discussed. So basically,
what had happened was...
what happened was we were talking about... I just asked girls.
Just ask us.
Just ask us. I was talking about dating. Not at any point did I talk about Magumbeze or Mbeda. But when it made it to the wrong side of the internet, people started thinking that I was saying that girls, you can go out and rarane uyo, because dating, like when boys from Zimbabwe say to you, I love you, dating and I love you means the same thing. So, ndakati sekunonzi ndoda kudzorera kumashure kuti ndikuti hanzi kana masangano vakomana ingoti baiway up. That's not what I was saying. I was talking about dating as in, interacting. Maybe I should have said interaction. Dating and those which the international world does. But I think for us...
Yeah, what's the internet? Say the definitions, babes.
Of dating?
Yeah.
No, you can.
Okay, my understanding of dating is when you're in the interview process and you're getting to know people. Then, if you like a specific person and they pass the interview section, then you get into a relationship where you are monogamous and committed to one another. But dating is like, literally, you wouldn't just... So you're saying is the first person you meet, you're supposed to end up in a relationship with them.
So basically, right, what you're saying is exactly what I meant. Talk to many people, get to know a lot of people.
Don't settle.
Go golfing, go for lunch, go for a movie, go for an activity, go do painting, so that you can know, you can get to know the person as they are, isn't it? I think what it transpired to my fellow Zimbabweans, because, well, I've not read the comment section. I don't tend to go into the comment section because I don't think it's a discourse. You're allowed to say what you want to say. And I was happy that it polarized a lot of people because, the people that needed to be activated, those boys that are never going to be picked by anyone, those ones who, if we say date a lot, will never find a girl. Those ones are the ones.
That's why they were had.
Yeah.
Because then now they have to compete.
They have to compete. I was not saying that people should be promiscuous. I was saying that take time to know where the lays of the land. What if you settle for the first place?
That's fantastic advice, babe.
That's what I was saying. But again, this is... I've seen a lot of takes that make a lot of people uncomfortable. This week, there's been quite a few women who said things that have landed men with pitchforks in their comment sections. People get triggered.
Men are so sassy these days.
Men are very audacious. The audacity of men, because dating, they're audaciously sassy. Because what I was saying was not in any way something you could misconstrue. It's something that was very straightforward. I am saying...
That's why I say my pussy for princess.
But anyway, I'm not here to wear the Apollo jersey. I am doubling down. Girls, the thing is, we know what we know. And I think we have a duty as women, older women who've lived life, women with experience, to pass the baton to young girls, to tell them that, guys, see the world as it is. Do not see it through rose-colored glasses or try to romanticize and fantasize relationships. Relationships are hard, and you want to choose the right person for it to be hard with. When we go to buy shoes, you just don't go and find the first pair of shoes.
And they say, oh yeah, I'm
try
off
them.
one.
Exactly. You try them for size, but by trying again, when I'm saying trying, I'm not talking about kurara, because there's going to be some person out there going, because now what I'm finding in many comment sections, if somebody says something like, nasa I ate chingwa for breakfast, the first comment is ogarorwe. It's as if, being married is a quantifier or qualifier of any opinions. I can have
You're qualified to have an opinion.
Because you're married. So if you are not married, you can, or there are a few, choice words.
It's like that, gotcha.
Yeah. Those type of things. I don't think, the moment... Because men are worried about being decentered, because women, as soon as women cheat relationship, most of the relationships you girls are settling for, you will not settle for them. So they would rather we don't talk about this and have honest, candid conversations about them. Because when I am saying that, why are you shaming me, or why are you trying to shame me? Again, you cannot shame me because I'm shameless. There's nothing that anybody can say out there that's going to stop me from saying what I'm saying. We are sending girls to school to get a very, very expensive education so that they can think clearly, they can see the world, alternative ways of thinking, not center things that are not supposed to be centered.
Yeah.
You're supposed to center yourself.
The
Everything
world
else.
revolve around men.
Exactly. Because now men are worried that if all these things that we're talking about, if you girls start looking at things and actually analyzing, there's nothing wrong with relationships, guys. Absolutely fantastic. I'm not saying go there and be spinsters and never talk to men again.
And cat ladies.
I'm not saying that, and I've never said that. What I'm trying to say is
evaluate your options.
Exactly.
And not from a place of desperation. Do not settle. Because Risa Tisa showed us what happens when you settle. Did you hear that trophy wife woman?
Exactly.
Did you hear that story? That's
people are coming.
Example.
Exactly. People are coming to our little comment section with pitchforks. There's a whole millionaire man who was tashing his own daughters. Why are we not talking about those things? These are the things that we're supposed to be talking about, so that girls do not fall into the trap of, you know what, I've bagged myself in binga, and forget to think.
Preventative.
Yes.
Because afterwards you can't say anything, because then you'll be blaming the victim. But before we even become victims, let's have a little word.
We also do these things in our, particularly African communities. We've got this grief porn thing. We love to see people suffering, and we go, oh my God, let's try and minimize trauma, because therapy is more expensive than preventing trauma. So, getting into these relationships that are not fulfilling. And let me tell you something. You know how people are trying to always sell relationships, because relationships are difficult. If relationships were easy, nobody would be talking about it. I was giving Coco an example yesterday. I was saying, if I found Kaposhto Kangu Kane a lot of money, I'd never tell anybody about it. You just see me coming with a Gucci bag tomorrow, a Gucci bag the day after. And if you say to me, I'll be like, Dimwari. I would never tell you about where I'm getting this money from, because it's sacred, it's precious, it's my own poshto, cutting kangu. Why is it everybody's always saying relationships are a good thing, please come and get into them? If there is this to poshto to be nice like that, why is the recruitment process very harsh like that? It's so aggressive. It's literally like, I'm saying, take your time. There's no rush. There's no hurry. Meet the person you think you can do life with. See them in different lights. See different people. And when I'm saying see, not kudumanisha. I did not say that. When you leave this outtake and you decide to go and take my message some other way, what I'm just trying to say is, and I'm going to double down on it. Weigh your options. Apana mnakampinda mushusho pakangonotora mavanza matafi mvabuda. You look for size, you look for fit, you look for, does it go with the outfit I want to wear? Even if you're online shopping, do you go to the first online shoe
and
you
know,
see?
divorce, it's such a horrible thing for anybody to go through. After you now go through the divorce, they're calling you a single mom, they're calling you a divorce, they're calling you everything.
And guys, you know what? We need to take care of each other, because we live in a patriarchal society. Men do not want us to talk about the things that we're talking about, because once you will not sit for nonsense. And we are very intelligent girlies. And what I'm just saying is, use the powers that you have to be in the relationship you want to be with the right man.
Period.
You know, because if relationships were easy, where girls are going and complaining that all the time, or things like that. These are things that are really happening, you know. You'd have gotten into that relationship blind because you've never had a chance to actually look around, get to know the person. Boom, they want to be breastfed every day, like proper milk, you know. So that was me. I'm not trying to explain this to anyone, I'm just clarifying, because I know that there are some people out there who are still very hell-bent on misquoting me and, you know, wanting me to be wrong. But I'll never be wrong. Number one, I paid my
and even if you're wrong, you're going to be wrong and strong.
Yes, I am going to be wrong and strong, because there's no one who's going to be rush me all you know, in this business, when you see my very interesting takes, you go, yes, salt of the earth, we are morning, salt of the earth. One thing I saw to sort of earth. You can call whoever, tag whoever. Let's have the thing is, I don't mind a debate, I don't mind a discourse. It's when it gets to the point where people are now cussing you or saying, I don't like that.
Why do people speak like that? So vulgar, so crass.
That's what, that's the
classless.
Yeah, that's the bottom down line, because that's what we were taught. If you can't fight, just cuss the person. But that's not it. That's not what I'm about, and that's not what that podcast was about. That podcast was about many, many things, and I don't want it to be diluted to one point of contention, which, Zim celebs folks. No one can come after me because I know myself.
Nobody can stop reggae.
Yeah, and I will not stop reggae, and I'll keep on. Because if that is what has upset you, what if I've got quite a few rich outtakes that are going to continue coming out? Because, why should we have men saying whatever they like on Beyonce's internet?
And it wasn't even directed at them.
Yeah, it could have been.
It was literally just between us girls. You're not the target audience. It's not for you. So why are you mad?
Yeah, but they do get mad, isn't it? And then they want to congregate.
Me personally, if you come to my page with that bullshit, I will actually just block you, because it's not a democracy on my page. It's my page. I'm not going to have people harassing me on my own.
But thank you it wasn't rage bait. It's actually how I think, and nobody's going to make me change. You might call me you might call me any name under the sun, but I'll still rise. I'll be back again doing another 1-hour podcast, giving my thoughts about the world, because the whole thing is, I cannot be rushed off the internet and nobody.
Can we do a dilemma, Mom? Somebody sent me a dilemma ages ago.
Okay, let's hear the dilemma. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is to keep our YouTube viewers, the ones who like our YouTube.
Perfect.
So while she's looking for this, I'll explain the reason for this after. Aftershow. It's just literally talking about the things that I would have maybe touched on, which have decided to run. And there've been a few that have gone viral, that from what I've said, some are things that are quite positive. Again, there are some things like this particular situation I've just explained, where, the Zimbabwean community have decided to now reinvent my whole statement.
For me, I feel like, when you build a community, like, what you lot talk about, your lingo, your jokes, right? And then, when something leaves your community, it's kind of like your responsibility to protect your community, because now there'll be these little random people who don't even understand the context of what your podcast is about. Like what you said, that podcast wasn't even about that. It was just at the end, just kanyaya. But anyways,
Yeah, but also I would like to to acknowledge, because all I've done is talk about these incels and all these people who don't even know what we are about. I've forgotten the most important people. To the girlies were in the comment section fighting these pitchforked guys. I love you so much, and sometimes don't expend your energy. Take back your energy from people like that. The only reason why I gave this a platform and decided to explain it is because I know that there are some people who are genuinely confused about what I said, because they only caught that small snippet, and some of them have never been on our podcast, and maybe they are not likely to be on our podcast because internet dura, and in Zim trying to watch an episode that's over an hour, you're probably never going to see what I was trying to say. But what these people have been saying is not what I said. So that's the only reason I'm explaining it to our followers who would not have had an opportunity to watch the whole podcast. Those who haven't had the opportunity but have the means to do so, please go and watch it. It's a very wholesome episode. That little snippet that has gone viral is right at the end.
We've got a dilemma, Mom. It's very, very long. Hansi, hey Coco, I have a dilemma. I'm unsure of where else to seek advice for this. I'm Zim. My partner is from the UK. He's white. I'm currently with my boyfriend of 4 years.
Sorry, when a dilemma is being read and somebody says, I'm from Zim and my partner is white. What?
First red flag. I'm currently with my boyfriend of 4 years. We are in our late 20s and we moved in together 2 years ago. Recently, the topic of Lobola came up as a family, as my cousin's boyfriend got her pregnant and my family requested for the Lobola. As they viewed it as they were married, they had been cohabiting and are now expecting. The boyfriend refused to pay and provided £50 on the day.
Refused to pay?
Yeah.
Refused to pay Lobola?
Yeah.
Who was he refusing to?
To the family, obviously. He paid £50. The family was dissatisfied with this. The boyfriend refused to add more money as he said it wasn't his culture. They attempted to get more, but he refused and became hostile. Did you not know what he was doing there?
I'm a bit confused. So this girl with the white partner is talking about their cousin.
The cousin,
okay,
yeah.
All right, yeah.
Her cousin, who's also with a white man. So that other white man refused to pay Lobola.
And so
he paid £50 on the day. Okay?
So had they not had a conversation with
That's
him?
my question.
Okay.
At first, I couldn't understand why the boyfriend couldn't respect the culture. He could have said, I can only provide 3K as we have a baby. Can I give 1K now, then 3K later? She's having everyone's business.
Okay. Okay. Let's go with the cousin.
I told my boyfriend. He became stressed. We had to go for therapy for a month as he wanted to break up over this matter. He wanted me to pay half. However, I expressed that as a man, I expect the funds to be paid by the man of the home. After therapy, we have come to an agreement that he would pay in the events that he proposed He said he would pay in the event that he proposed, and his timeline was within 5 years.
So they've been living together for 4 years and is giving...
They've been together for 4 years and they've been living together for 2 years.
Yeah. So now, plus the 5 years, it will be 9 years.
9 years.
Right. And it's a timeline.
Yes.
Right.
Now, after some reconsideration, I've seen my mother allow all of my boy cousins and brothers do horrendous things. She helps them and supports them. However, it feels as though I'm always supporting and helping myself.
Wait, before I forget, we'll carry on with the dilemma. I just want to take a take on that. This is what I was talking about in the last, in that last episode. This here.
Yeah.
Let's put a pin on it. So when I say this, remember that this is what I'm talking about. Carry on.
Okay. I have always had a difficult relationship with my parents as they were so toxic when I was younger. I had to do a lot of therapy to aid myself as I needed to work on a lot of trauma. Now I'm older, I'm realizing that they will always help every single person and I'm always be short. I've helped them throughout the years financially to the extent that I've sacrificed my own future. However, when it comes to me, they never help me. I'm realizing that no matter what, I'll never be equal to the boys, which is fine, but me paying this Lobola is 3 10K of my partner's money we could use to try and buy a house or start a family or pay for a small wedding. I'm so confused. Should I be paying for the Lobola or focus on my life? Because no one is going to take care of me and my family.
Right. There are so many issues that have been
raised.
A lot of issues. There's a lot of issues. I'll get to it very soon. Let's start by unraveling this dilemma.
Yeah.
So there is a girl, right, who's dating a white man, right? And it so happens that there's also a cousin who's fumbled the bag for everybody by bringing a stingy white man into the family. So that stinginess has sort of like made rounds, and this guy has seen that, this one succeeded. You know, when somebody does a revolution and they succeed, you are really worried. You know, like where you're a dictator, right, in Africa, and you hear that the other dictator next door was toppled, you just think it's coming to your country. That's what has happened here. There are two white men who've come into a family. One has managed to stage a revolution and succeeded. But so that's number one. So there's the threat of this never ever going to happen, because the hero of the white man has done it, has gone and toppled this family. The likelihood of this one paying when that one isn't paid is very slim, right? So that's fine. What I want girls to learn in general, when we go into these relationships, whichever, same culture, different cultures, same dialects, different countries, Nigerian, whatever, whichever relationship you go into, don't ever confide in your men about your families. Number one. If you ever do that, you are setting yourself for a big fail. Because men are not your relatives, they're not even your friends. The days that you fight, sometimes some men are very good. They will never, throw it in your face. But their actions will show that they know something. Like, take for example, when, because, family dynamics are difficult. Go and speak about it in therapy, very good. The other thing that she's doing, going into therapy, is fine. But she's also trying to give this man an out, if you've noticed. She doesn't go half the film. She's looked for all ways of trying to pay this Lobola. She's probably was going to pay it for herself, but then she realized
that's what she said. Should I pay for it?
Yeah. So she really, really loves this man, that she doesn't want her man to be looked at in any bad light. And now she's starting to make excuses for the man not to pay by now dogging her own brothers and the male relatives. You've always had this relationship problems with you, but this man has to pay Lobola whether he likes it or not, if that is what your culture detects. And again, I'm not against the idea of people paying Lobola. You know why? It's a token of appreciation. You can never pay, you can never buy a bride. When people say things like, varutengesa vana or whatever, I don't think that's true. Taking from your wealth to give to your wife's family is it's not you appreciating them, it's you appreciating her, because you're saying she's worth it. You're saying, I will part with part of my wealth because she's worth it. This is me showing you how much my gratitude is, because wealth is something you work very hard to gather, isn't it? So if you're willing to part with some of it, it's just to show the family who raised your wife that, you know what, thank you very much for raising an amazing woman. So now, us as girls, when we now stand in that process and block it, we are not helping anyone. We're not helping the families we came from, and we're not even helping the men, because they'll be like, this is rubbish, she's even telling me not to.
If it's important to her, then he should pay the fees. If it's not important to her, then
but I don't think it should be because it's important to me.
Yeah.
It should be because it's part of culture.
No.
It should be. So you're saying that if it's not important
it
for
has to be important to you. You can't just do things because it's part of your culture. What if in your culture you eat people? No, no, we'll never progress as a people if we think like that.
What I'm trying to say is good, Anditi. Chinaitika is we Zimbabweans are the worst people, are the worst for not respecting our culture as it is. I'm not talking of darker zvongosha zvokuti if your culture is kuroya pane munhu ane culture yekuroya varoi. I'm talking about you know rites of passage that we're supposed to observe.
What about like GBV, mom?
Is that part of anybody's culture?
It's part of people's culture. There's so many practices that are part of people's culture. If it's important to you,
no,
then you should observe it.
Saka ngatingorege observe everything. You're not helping anyone, because if you are picking and choosing, but
no one's a purist, ma'am. Nobody's a purist.
I'm not saying anyone is a purist, but the way you are now talking, but I'm saying it's nice for people who are not part of your culture, for you not to start by rubbishing it to them.
I think if it's something you would have done if the person was Zim, you should do it. Like, she shouldn't not do it because she's with a white man.
But are you aware that the way you're saying it now, if it's not important to me, Coco, it shouldn't be done. That's ridiculous.
No, 100%. I'm not going to do something just because some people, like 100 years ago, decided that. And 9 out of 10 times it was men. It's not as if they sat there thinking about me. It wasn't made for me.
So you're
as a woman, nothing is ever designed for you.
So you're going to block my mkwasha from buying me my yet.
But it's important to me.
But what if it's important to me as your mother?
I said it is important to me, though.
Right.
I agree with the culture.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't important to me, like if my kid said to me, "Oh, I don't want to do that," I wouldn't even. I said, "Do your thing, bruv. Like, if it's not important to you, it's not important to you."
Wipe.
But for this babe, I think it was important for her, and I think she would have done it if she wasn't with a white man. I think she's minimizing what's important to her because she loves her partner. But me, I think that she should do what's important to you.
You know, white people, I'll give you an example, and I know that Laura doesn't mind. I've got a daughter she's my daughter in spirit. She's Coco's friend, who's married to a white man, right? Nothing in Jack that is not English, right? But when I went, because I've not met him many times, but I've met him. The time I met him, he understands our culture. He knows. He understood even because he's the one who did Laura's birthday, right? So because I was worried that it's being done by a white man. People are just going to be mixing, the in-laws. There was a lot of decorum and thought into it. When you go into these new cultures and you let them, sort of like absorb you, and you wouldn't have known that if Laura hadn't told him.
Exactly, because it's important to Laura.
Yeah, but it's also important for you to be a cultural ambassador for your culture, because
not everybody's the same, people are different.
Now, so now the thing is, if you let white people be white people, your Caucasian
but why
husband,
are you disagreeing, Bob? Like,
I'm disagreeing with this thing of saying that
it's giving Zanu. This is not a democracy. Everyone's going to follow culture.
Yeah, but I'm saying
you're not even a cultural person, so I don't know. You're capping. You're capping.
Caps low.
You're capping.
I'm not capping.
You got cooked.
I am not.
You came back as a conservative.
No, I'm not conservative. But what I'm trying to say is, one thing I would do. One thing I would ever. Like I'm saying this because one of my friends, right, married a white man. Okay. So then there was a funeral. I think my friend's mom or dad passed away. So obviously they were over here in the UK. We, in our culture, we go, we gather, we sing, we play drums. So she's really mortified when we got there. She was like, "Oh, you are the one who's very outspoken." Me, being the talkative one, should tell people when they come in not to sing Shona songs and not to do anything that's too embarrassing.
You see, Mom, I'm going to humor you there. If you go out with a white man because you have self-hatred towards yourself and you actually hate your blackness and your Africanness and you pander to them because you hate yourself, that's a problem. That is a big, big problem. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying that not everybody believes with every single cultural practice. And that should be the only reason why you don't practice it. Not because you hate yourself.
What I'm saying is, if you happen to have married a white man and you did not want to tell them about our culture, And
I would have to be honest, I feel like it's good to teach white people about your culture because you need to make sure they're not racist. You need
That's
to
what
really
I'm talking about.
Keep an eye
on them, because
on
also
on them,
yeah, and
because
also
this is a white person.
also have
all.
a conversation with them. What their misgivings are about paying lobola.
Because you're gonna have children, so you kind of have.
There you go. So it needs to be something. Even if you're not okay with, even if I didn't want the lobola, I didn't care for it, I would still ask him what are his misgivings about it. What is his concerns about it, and then we have a proper conversation. Because I don't think
because she wants a lobola because she was arguing with him about it.
Okay, so she should argue with him some more.
Yeah.
And if it means that she's not going to get the lobola,
you can't be with a white man who doesn't respect your culture.
That's what I'm talking about.
Until they start, calling you N-words.
Yeah, and with a hard eye as well.
I had a friend, she was with a white... I had a friend, she was with a white guy. This guy's was such a beautiful, beautiful couple, right? Beautiful couple.
I know where this is going.
The minute these lot broke up, he's calling her N-word. She's going, and I'm going to send you back to your country. All of these like racist things. So you need to understand the motivation as to why he doesn't want to pay. Is it because
and this is what I'm always
we're in the club and we're not all femme, or is it because he just is stingy?
And I know
which is also not good.
True. And I know of white people who date black women because they want to upset their racist white families.
So this ask a man, is he racist?
Those are questions that you need to ask. Are you racist? Do you hate black people? Is that why you don't want to marry me? Those are the conversations you really honestly have to have.
9 years,
Because I've seen women who get married to Nigerian men, and these Nigerian guys come and they lie on the floor and they do all these fantastic cultural gestures, which I think which is
and
really
I bet
good.
She can make a Sunday roast. So why can't he play lobola?
Why can't he play lobola and Monasad?
Yeah.
So we have to be very careful, and this is why I'm saying, girlies, whichever relationships you end up in or you don't end up in, do not stop asking questions. If you're dating these white boys, ask them, are you racist? Do you like black? Because some people, some white people, and this is not
like you.
They like you, but not everybody else around you. So then you have to have those honest, difficult conversations. What's the root of him not wanting to pay lobola? If he doesn't have the money, that's fine. And don't start bargaining for your own lobola like she's saying that. What if you pay a 3K or desperate? Don't be desperate. And also, we need to decenter this business of when you're dating murungu, because I've seen that even in families, when you bring a murungu, people don't know what to do and they're like, mkwasha murungu and stuff. They are just human beings like us. Trust me, I've lived amongst them for a very long time. They are just human beings and very, very misguided and sometimes very ignorant as well. Some of them, not all of them. And I've met some amazing ones as well. People are very considerate of other people's cultures. So you need to know where on the spectrum your Caucasian partner is. And sometimes it's not even about what they say, it's how they act or how they do or how they react to policies and cultures that affect black people. Because they might like you but not necessarily like everyone black. And that's very
it's true.
Yeah. Or sometimes some people fetishize the idea of being with a black person. So these conversations you have to have. And, we are very unfortunate as a group of people. We are 10 years, 20 years behind in our dating experience when it comes to our other counterparts. When you're younger, talking about Zimbabweans, when you're younger, when you're a young girl, you're getting to 10, 11, 12, your mother is telling you, Auntie, you get to, GCSEs without even knowing how to date, running away from boys. Boys, as soon as they hit 10, 11, they are going kwana sekuru, they are being taught about ngondorosi, they are being taught about dating girls, about all these sexual prowesses from at the age of 10. You are running away from them. They are learning about you. You get to your GCSEs, if you are very unfortunate, like some of the girls I've been speaking to, you finish your O-levels, your aunt who lives in the UK buys you a ticket and you land up here with your COS. You've never dated in your life. You get here, right? The boys here have got PhDs in fast. They are very quick. So you are a sitting duck. So as soon
Yeah.
as they meet you, they will do a number on you.
They'll do a number on you.
Now then
Where's
you have
he?
now you have an aunt like me who's got the cheat code, who's on the internet saying to you, my dear girlie, before you give up the cake, talk to all these boys and find out what they want from you. And you know the thing about men are very transparent. As much as they are audacious, they are very transparent. They will tell you exactly in their actions, in their behavior, even in their own words, what they are after when it comes to you. You know, you can tell that this is very quick, very nice, and very goodbye. You know, so
Very quick, very nice, and very good.
very goodbye. So if you're one of those people who've been taught that, you know, the first person you meet, you date for life and you marry them, you are going to end
You'll be dating them for life.
You'll be dating them for life, but they are going to be dating everybody. And these conversations we are having is because we have to have them. Because the majority of the girls
Mom
that
just
are out
wants
there,
the best for you guys.
we are 20 years you know the things I know them because, you know, I've dated enough men to know that you know, as soon as they open their mouths, I go, yo, uy. That one is a very nice, very goodbye, very see you never again. This one is a very give me your money, very I want to be taken care of, very homosexual. And you know, but for you to know those categories, you have
Like,
to
how
have,
would you know
how
that a
would
guy
you know
is
he's
a homosexual
when you've
how would
never
you know
dated?
that? Or that he's love bombing you?
Love bombing,
How would you know?
This is why, you know when girls, because we it's the dating immaturity in every one of us. Every one of us has suffered from it because we don't date, and when we date the first person and we marry them. And you know why? Because that is what is expected. So now men have got the cheat code. They know that you're inexperienced. They'll buy you flowers every day.
Oh, they won't even marry. If you date the first person they married, you know, they'll sell you a dream and go and marry somebody else. And you find out on TikTok.
Or if they decide to stay, they'll stay and just carry on dating everybody else. Because again, sometimes it's good to marry somebody who's naive because they're never going to bother you. They're never going to ask you anything. They'll hold the fort down, pay the bills, take care of your children, whilst you do what is important to you, which is dating many other people. So now when I'm saying this, they'll come with pitchforks because now I'm telling their trade secrets on the internet. But what I'm saying is, girls, do not be those kind of people who are sitting ducks, or, you know, who are told that the end goal for us in this whole planet is marriage. Because what if you don't get married, then what? Are you going to live an unfulfilled life because somebody has not proposed to you? Decenter marriage, date as much as you can, get to meet a few people. And sometimes actually when you meet a few people and you've been around, actually, you know what, John from the last date 6 months ago was actually a very nice guy, and you can decide to revisit it if you want to, but it's because you've got a reference to what men are about. But if you marry the first guy who comes into your DMs and buys you 20 roses,
or if you put all your hopes in the first guy. Yeah.
Because
you don't ever marry the first guy. The first guy will tell you he wants to marry you,
and
but
also,
he won't.
And also, let me tell you something. We are a fake conservative country. Zimbabweans maure machinji achona varume maure last number. So you know what? They are fake conservative because if we were as conservative as men want to say when they are on the internet, what else na AIDS with Zimbabwe? What else na small house? You know,
It wouldn't be no small
they would
houses.
not be small house. They would not be
No
side
one can
chicks.
cheat like a Zimbabwean married man. Oh,
So that's what I'm saying. And I see it. These things I'm talking about are facts. And you know why they come with pitchforks? It's because I'm telling their secrets. So when you are going out there, just know that you are dating is not wrong. You are not sleeping with those men. You are going out and getting to know these people. Speed dating isn't it the same thing? It's just quick, get to know quick. What are you about? And if they are not, you know, because religion is a big thing, isn't it? You want to know if the person is the right religion as you, the right age as you. Do their fundamentals match your fundamentals?
Blood type.
Are they HIV positive or negative? How do you know those things if you are not dating and getting to speak
And
to a
asking
few
the
people
right questions.
and asking the right questions?
Instead of just leading with all these things that you want so that they can now pretend to
And
be
also,
those things.
girls don't be very flowery. Men with their audaciousness, they also say what they want. They'll say that they want a virgin. They want a virgin who cooks. They want a virgin who works.
Who cooks and can do this.
A virgin who can swing from chandeliers and do things to them. And, they want somebody who can spell their name when they are in bed and things like that. They are very clear about what they're looking about for. And we go on feelings. Oh, I want somebody who makes me feel good. I want somebody who is emotional.
Or buy
who
me
is
flowers.
buy me flowers or fly me. Things that are very flowery. Be very clear. Some men will tell you that even if you're a bank manager, I do not eat food that has not been cooked by your hand. And that's it. And they will say things like that. And women will rush from a very high power corporate job and come and defrost fish for that man who's been sitting in the house. Because it's been very clear. And it's clear. If you're not this, I'm not that. And then we hate women who say, I will not date a broke man. What's wrong with saying that? Because you know why? Broke men know that they will not find anyone.
Now they're mad.
Now I'm taking another one, which is going to be... We call them...
Wow. This is just the after show. It's supposed to be 20 minutes. You get a whole podcast episode. To summarize, Barb, stay in school.
No, date often and frequently.
All the time.
All the time.
And chase the bag.
And sometimes you can even do speed dating by yourself. You can go to see John in the morning, Peter in the afternoon, and Andrew at night.
Oh my days.
Please date. Talk to these boys. See what they are about. You are still doing it. I know all of you are doing it. You're frightened.
Like to just chat
You're
shit.
frightened to say
They're
it.
doing worse than what you said, Mom. So I've got to say about that.
Some of them are on Tinder, getting Tinder dates and doing things the first day they meet them. I wasn't even talking about that. I was saying that swipe in real life, swipe right, left in real life, like how you do on Tinder. Like swipe right, and decline, and keep it pushing. Yeah, come with your pitchforks. Them I'm ready with mine. We'll pitchfork each other. Damn it.
See you on the episode 2 of the after show,
or
episode 11 of the main show.
Whichever one we see you on.
Bye. What are you saying about this chicken you promised me?
I didn't promise you anything.
You said you're gonna get me chicken.
Where?